Very, very exciting, very nice key takeaway that I would just like to share with you. Hi guys and ladies, welcome back to another vlog. I had an exciting day today. Very, very exciting, very nice key takeaway that I would just like to share with you. So today, the day was quite normal, but the biggest key takeaway was after a meeting that I had with my fellow EXCO members in this CDF chapter that I'm busy in, and where I had a privilege of being elected president. We had some small resolution and I had to call in a quick meeting. But the key takeaway that I had in there, it took me back to my analyst days where you have worked so hard on creating something, and you have put in all the hours, but you had forgotten to ask for permission before you proceeded with the initiative or with the project. And that's exactly what I had in mind before, to say, before, we become eager beavers and we go ahead and we start, with whatever strategies that we wanted to do. It's always nice to call in all the EXCO members. I think the right word is to have a quorum. Is it called a quorum? I might be butchering the explanation, the pronunciation, but have a quorum and vote on the strategy before you take the second step. And you must vote on it while you still have the first step, just on the first one, to say, we've tested the concept, this is what we want, and you still say, but we haven't even set up step number 2. We don't even know when is step number 2 going to take place, but we know that True North is within a month or within 2 months. There will be a go live date somewhere there, but we don't know when is it, because we still need to take some steps. Most of my time I had went before, and I had collated people and we worked on a group, only to get a smack in my face, where one of my mentors said, you shouldn't have done that. That was my idea. I said I wanted to do that when I retire. And here I am. I had already called in people to say, I have a project manager, I have a business analyst, I have a process analyst. We are ready to start running. I even have MBAs in my team. And the first thing that I got was, that is not your idea to execute on. You should have asked me to say, am I okay with that idea? And that, it was a horrible sting at the time. But right now, I think it created a lot of learnings to me, that before you go on anywhere, make sure that you go back and ask for proper permission before you take the necessary steps. And I think that's the most important part. I think that I'm just here to share, to say, make sure, don't just take things for granted. Take things with the proper pinch of salt. Don't put too much, don't put too little, because if you invest too much on your project, it's going to be very difficult to go back and say, maybe I should stop and then wait a little bit and wait for people to come in. And what we were asking for was very simple. It was just a communication strategy to say, we have all these members that are enrolling in. There's a conference coming in next week on the 17th of May. And what we wanted to do was, before the conference come in, should we, give new members a reason to stay onto the group? easiest way was to call everybody else for the WhatsApp group. But now we're like, no, hang on a second. A WhatsApp group is not a proper place, because I'm not just talking to people that are, stay-home dads, or people in the soccer group, or people that are just creating a church group. We're talking about people that are few professors are in our group. People that has gone all the way from masters to PhDs are in our group. So before you even say put on something out, it has to have sound on their side. It has to have, it must show that there was thought and process that was taken to place, and we actually thought we're just not wasting that time. Because the worst part is to join something and only realize that they're wasting your time. First thing that you're gonna do is just to unjoin. Me, as I felt like my duty was to make sure that all the exco members are moving at the same rate. We get the proper approval. It gets minuted. Next step now is just to change the memorandum to reflect the right date. And there on top of the memorandum, instead of saying the action is to look for approval, we do write that it was approved on this particular date. And right now we are in execution. And that we can share the memorandum with everybody else to say, this is the strategy that we want to invite you to come and be part of our coffee conversation. 10 minutes where you talk about development finance. We don't care about how well known you are on the subject. We all get 10 to 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max on that particular subject. And, it's an exciting way for us to actually know what's happening within the world of development finance. And I think it's something very, very similar, especially with us in finance. I did the same thing when I was in finance. I did a lot of projects that were pulled. The plug was pulled out because I didn't follow the proper procedure. So just what I'm just sharing here to say, my key takeaway for today: better to ask for permission before you proceed, because if you proceed without asking for permission, you're gonna get into a nasty area where people have to vote you out. Thanks guys for watching this. Let's meet again tomorrow, where we're going to be chatting again about exciting key takeaways of whatever I'm going through throughout the day. These are the ones that are not, I don't think they can make it into our podcast, but just what I'm finding on the site, because they are a bit more personal. It's about how me and the kids are kissing each other. But it helps you to understand, just to get a complete picture, that I'm not just this guy in the box who's always acting as an analyst, but on top of that, I'm a husband, a wife, and a dad, and a brother, and a sibling somewhere. I'm just a complete person. But yeah, let's chat again tomorrow. Cheers.